Hello everyone, welcome to Bookworm Trivia with the Milwaukee Public Library. My name is Emily. Normally I work at the Central Library Children's Room, but today I'm presenting this program from my home. And you're joining from your home, and I think that's pretty special. Of course, it's sad we can't be with you in person today, but we're excited to be able to read, create, and discover with you all summer long and from a safe distance. This program is appropriate for children of all ages and their families, so feel free to play alone or play with a team, and let's get started. First, a few guidelines here to make sure that we have a smooth and fun game. As I said, you can play by yourself or as a team. If you want to play by a team, consider sharing the fun by using your favorite video conferencing platform to play with others, such as Zoom, Google Hangouts, FaceTime. We don't endorse any of those, but if you use them and you like them, that would be a great way to play with others. Because this is recorded, please feel free to pause the video or go back to questions as needed. I'll try to go pretty slowly and repeat questions a couple times. However, it is at your own pace, so feel free to stop or go back if you need to. We'll complete 5 rounds with 5 questions each, and then at the very end, I will give all the answers and we'll tally our points. All right. Don't use your cell phone or Google. It's much more fun to win honestly. And because there are no prizes, the only prize here is the glory of winning and bragging rights. Really no point in cheating, kind of a hollow victory. I would say make a guess, even if you don't know the answer for sure. Better than leaving it blank because you might just be right. So guess whenever you can. We will be self-scoring answers. So at the end, when I give all the answers and you tally them up, you'll just do them on your own. If you're playing as a team, I mean, you could have a special point taker if you want to. Each question is worth 1 point, so hopefully pretty easy scoring. So a possible of 20, total possible of 25 points. All right, let's get started. Our first round category is Name That Book cover. I will show you 5 different book covers and you need to guess the title. Try to get as close to possible as you can, and remember, a guess is better than nothing. And each question's worth a point. Question number 1, what is the title of this book? This is a classic picture book by Ezra Jack Keats. He's the author and illustrator. You can see there it has the Caldecott Medal for illustration. And I don't think I'm giving anything away here by saying this is probably my all-time favorite picture book. I loved it when I was a child myself. I still love it today. I try to read it in story times. Just a wonderful book. And the character there on the cover, Peter, actually figures in a lot of Ezra Jack Keats picture books and kind of grows as this kind of series goes on. So what is the title of this book? Number 2, what is the title of this book by Dr. Seuss? Try to use some context clues here by really looking closely at the illustration on the cover. If you look at that platter, you might just be able to guess what the title is if you don't know it offhand. And a little fun fact, when I was in kindergarten, we read this book, and to kind of add to the experience, we actually made some of the food that's depicted there on the platter. I can't say it was the most delicious food I ever had, but it was certainly an experience. Number 3, what is the title of this book? So just some clarification here that I am looking for the exact title of this volume or this book in the series. So not the character's name, not kind of the series name, but the actual title of this book. And another word here, this book was originally published in the UK before it came to the US, and it had a different title. Both of those titles, the UK and the United States titles, will count for a point. So either one works, and I'll give them both at the end. So what is the title of this book? Number 4, what is the title of this book? This is a newer graphic novel series by Dave Pilkey, the creator of Captain Underpants. Wildly popular at the library. We can hardly keep these on the shelf. And this is the first in this series. What is the title of this book? All right, number 5, the last for this round. What is the title of this book? It's another graphic novel by Raina Telgemeier, a part of a series. And you can see there it has the medal for the Eisner Award, which is given to graphic novels. These are also wildly popular at the library. Hardly keep these on the shelves either. What is the title of this book? Now remember, folks, you can pause here or go back if you need a little more time looking at a cover to come up with an answer. I'm going to move ahead though. All right, round 2. Category is Name That Book Character. So each question here is worth 1 point. Question number 1, who are they? So yes, there's 2 characters here, and in order to get the full point, 1 point, you need to name both of them correctly. Who are they? These are 2 of my favorite characters. They are brother and sister. They're in a series of picture books. Who are they? All right, moving on to number 2. Who are they? So again, you'll need the name of both characters to get the full point here. These characters are great friends. They're in a series of beginning readers from Arnold Lobel. These are books that I loved as a child myself, and they're still very popular, sort of timeless classics. Who are they? All right, question number 3. Who is this? So this is a character in another series of kind of beginning chapter books. We call them intermediates at the library. And this character has figured into several of these chapter books by Nick Bruhl. Who is this? All right, number 4, who is this? This is another character in a series of intermediates or beginning chapter books. And the series is named after them, their full name. Who is this? All right, question number 5, our last one for this round. Who is this? And here I want you to give his full name, so not just the name of the series or what could be considered the character's nickname, but the full name. If you were to see this character's birth certificate, what would their name be? They're in a series of middle grade chapter books that are sort of a hybrid graphic novel chapter book. They've been around for quite a while, but they are still extremely popular, and a new 1 or 2 books in this series comes out almost every year. And the newest one was written from the perspective of this main character's best friend. So now there's an offshoot. Who is this character? Again, before I move on, a reminder that you can pause or go back if you need to, spend a little more time thinking of the answers here. But we're going to move on to round 3. Round 3, the category is book title, fill in the blank. So for this one, I'm going to show you, again, a series of book covers, but part of the title will be blacked out. In fact, 2 words from each title will be blacked out. And in order to get a point, you need to come up with both words. So which 2 words are missing from the title? Here, if you only get one of the missing words, feel free to give yourself half a point. But in order to get the full 1 point, you'll need both missing words. All right, here we go. What 2 words are missing in this title? Alexander and the Terrible Blank, No Good Very Blank Day. Wow. This is one that if I don't have the book in front of me, or look it up on the computer. I never remember how the title goes. It's a challenging one. So what are those two words that are missing? Alexander and the Terrible Blank, no good, very blank day. What two words? This is a good one to make a guess. Maybe it'll even be a pretty funny guess. And maybe it'll be right. All right, moving on to number 2. What two words are missing here? This is an Elephant and Piggy book. Two of my very favorite characters, these beginning reader series. So this title is There is a Blank on Your Blank. And again, look at that illustration on the cover. You might just be able to make a guess. There is a blank on your blank. All right, moving on to number 3. Wow, this is a long one, a challenging one. I will be very impressed if you get this one right. So this is a Captain Underpants book, and they are always very long, silly titles. This is Captain Underpants and the Big Bad Battle of the Bionic Blank Boy, Part 1. The Night of the Nasty Nostril Blank. Sounds like a tongue twister just saying that, even with the blinks. So which two words are missing there? And I'm going to give you a little bit of clue or some help here. If you look at the first part with the missing word, those are all words beginning with B. So I wonder if maybe you should come up with a B word for that one. And same with the second part there. Those are all words beginning with N. So you might be looking for a word that begins with N for your second blank. Captain Underpants and the Big Bad Battle of the Bionic Blank Boy, Part 1. The Night of the Nasty Nostril Blank. Which two words are missing? All right, moving on to number 4. What two words are missing here? Crown and Ode to the Blank Blank. It's another one of my favorite picture books. It's newer from a few years ago. You can see it won all those awards. Just a great book. Crown and Ode to the Blank Blank. All right, moving on to number 5. What two words are missing in this title? This is a Dark Diaries book, and the title is Tales from a Not So Blank Pet Blank. So all the Dark Diaries, their titles kind of have this set up, Tales from a Not So something. But this one, which two words are missing in this specific title? Tales from a Not So Blank Pet Blank. All right, that's the end for round 3. Pause or go back as needed, but we're going to move on to round 4. Round 4 is a little bit different, so we're moving away from like names of books or characters in books, and now we're going to talk about the book itself as an object. So this round is, do you know the parts of a book? So what makes up a book? Again, each question is worth 1 point. I feel like this one might be a little bit of a challenge. Let's see how well you do. And remember, make guesses when you need to. Question 1, what is this part called? So I'll describe the part that you're looking at here in the picture that the arrows are pointing to. It's the long, slender outside of the book that has the title and the author on it. If this book were on the shelf, it's the part that's facing outwards for the reader to be able to see. What is that part called? The slim outer part with the title and author on it. Make a guess if you need to. All right, moving on to number 2. Now I had to draw some pictures here of parts of books because I just couldn't find the right sort of images online that I wanted to use. So I'll try to do a good job describing here without giving away the answer. So this part of the book comes at the very beginning before you get into the story. It's on the first page or 2. And it's a special note or message to someone or something that is special to the author. So in this case, I, the author, Miss Emily, wrote a book about cats, and I dedicated it to my cat. And it says, "To my cat, you are such a great cat." What is this called? All right, moving on. Question number 3, what is this part called? This part typically comes at the end of a book, but it could come at the beginning too. It's a list of definitions of words or vocabulary words that you see throughout the book. And it defines what they mean in case they are new words to you. So in my book about cats, you will have read the words cat, kitten, and mouse. And here are definitions of what they mean. A cat is a noun, and it's a very cute mammal. So what are these pages of definitions called in a book? All right, moving on to number 4. What is this called? This comes at the beginning of the book. It shows different sections of the book and which pages they come on. So you can see the introductions at the beginning. It starts on page 1, then all the chapters and where they start. And then finally at the end is the index, which comes on page 10. So it lays out all the sections of the book and where you can find them. It comes at the beginning of the book. Sort of like a map for navigating the book, figuring it out. What is it called? And finally, question 5, what is this called? And this is from an actual picture book by Emily Gravitt. And this page comes at the beginning of the book before the story starts. Now the parts of this page are the title, the author, and then in very small print down there you can see that's the name of the publisher. So this part of the book always has those 3 things: the title of the book, the author, and the publisher. And it comes at the very beginning. What's it called? All right, that one was a bit of a challenge. Feel free to go back, pause if you need to. And I'm laughing at myself because for one of those pages, I kind of gave it away. But we'll just consider that a little special hint. All right, my friends, we're going to move on to the final category, the final round, round 5. This is odds and ends, so just questions about books that I couldn't figure out where to put in another category. Each question is worth 1 point. Question number 1, in your own words, so this could look different for anyone, what does the word fiction mean? So try to define or tell me what you think the word fiction means. And because you're putting it in your own words, it might look different than how someone else would describe fiction, but at the end I'll give you a few options for how you could have described it. And you'll know what you meant to write. Fiction. So books could be fiction or nonfiction. So let's say you came to the library and you said, "Miss Emily, I'm looking for a book about robots." I might say, "Are you looking for fiction books about robots or nonfiction books about robots?" And maybe you'll say, "I'm looking for fiction." What does that mean? Fiction. All right, moving on to number 2. So in your own words, what does nonfiction mean? So you just did fiction. Now what might nonfiction mean? Nonfiction. And at the library and in the children's room, we often have our books separated by fiction and nonfiction. So if you told me you were looking for a nonfiction book about robots, I'd probably take you to a different part of the room to show you where those were. Nonfiction. And again, in your own words, so however you can describe it best. Question number 3. How many books or volumes are in the Amulet graphic novel series? Great series. It's been around for a few years. One comes out every few years. Beautiful artwork and illustrations in there. How many are there? All right, number 4. I'm going to read a passage from a book, and you try to give me the title of the book. What book is this passage from? On Monday, he ate through 1 apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday, he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday, he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. These words are from a classic picture book, another favorite of mine, describing somebody who's obviously very hungry. I wonder. All right, friends, we made it. Final question of the final round. Question 5. Besides Charlotte, name another character from the book Charlotte's Web. So Charlotte is kind of the main character there. Obviously, the book is named after her, and she's the spider hanging right there on the cover. But can you name one other character, human or animal? It doesn't matter. Now, when I give the answers, I'll give lots of different options. I'll name a bunch of different characters, and any of them will work. However, if you were able to name more than one, that's great. That's impressive. Awesome. Virtual high five to you. However, you still only get 1 point. So one other character besides Charlotte. Okay, go back if you need to, look at some questions again, pause, take a break, but we're going to move on to the answers. Hopefully you've been keeping track on a piece of paper. And I would say next to that paper, you can do a check mark if you got it right, or you can put a point so that you can tally it up at the end. Remember, each question is worth a point. There can be a total possible of 25 points. So hopefully pretty easy to tally up. Again, we're on the honor system. And you'll just score yourself. All right, here we go. Our answers for round number 1, name that book cover. Answer 1, this was The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. Probably my all-time favorite picture book. There's Peter on the cover, having a snowy adventure. The Snowy Day. Number 2, that was Green Eggs and Ham. Having had green eggs and ham, actually eaten some of that in my life, I don't necessarily recommend it. But like I said, it was an experience. Number 3, I needed the exact title, the long title, in this first volume of the series. That is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Now remember I said you could also give me the UK original title. So Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is the United States title when it was published here. But you could also have written Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the original title. Both of those count for a point. And pretty cool if you knew that original title. Good job. Number 4, what is the title of this book? Dogman. So there's several volumes now in this series. They've got funny titles like Lord of the Fleas. This is the original Dogman. Number 5, this was Smile by Raina Telgemeier. She wrote Sisters and Trauma. Her newest is Guts. This one was Smile. All right, I hope you did great. Feel free to tally up as you go for that round and then add it all at the end. We're moving on to round 2. Answers for name that book character. Each is worth a point. Answer 1, who are they? They're Lola and Leo, brother and sister. There's picture books about Lola, there's picture books about Leo, and then they are together in some picture books. I love them both. What a great family. Number 2, who are they? They are Frog and Toad. feel like usually if you get one, you get the other's name. Remember, you need them both for a full point. Number 3, that's bad, kitty. You can just tell. Look at that grumpy face. Bad kitty. Number 4, that's Junie B. Jones. Junie B. Jones. And number 5, that's Greg Heffley. Now remember, I needed Greg Heffley, the full name, so not Wimpy Kid from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, so not the nickname, not the series name, but the full name, Greg Heffley. Great! I hope you did really well. Count up your points, and we're going to move on to round 3. Ooh, this one was the challenging one, if you remember. This was book title Fill in the Blank. For this one, you needed to come up with 2 words that are missing from each title. If you only got one of the 2 words right, give yourself half a point. But in order to get the full 1 point, you need to get both words correct. All right, here we go. Number 1, what 2 words were missing? Horrible and bad. Horrible and bad. So the title is Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Wow, what a mouthful. Horrible and bad. Number 2, which words were missing? Bird and head. Bird and head. And just look at that cover. Ah, it all makes sense now. So this Elephant and Piggy title is There is a Bird on Your Head. Bird and head. Number 3. Wow, this Captain Underpants. I will be very impressed if you got these 2 silly, kind of gross words. So the 2 words that were missing were booger and nuggets. Booger and nuggets. For this full title, Captain Underpants and the Big Bad Battle of the Bionic Booger Boy, Part 1, The Night of the Nasty Nostril Nuggets. I dare you to say that 5 times fast. 2 words were booger and nuggets. Number 4, what 2 words were missing? Fresh and cut. Fresh and cut. And the full title is Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut. Crown, an Ode to the Fresh Cut. The 2 missing words were fresh and cut. Sorry, friends, I didn't put the underlines there, so I'm going to say it one more time. Fresh and cut. And finally, number 5, what 2 words were missing? Perfect and sitter. Perfect and sitter. So this Dork Diaries title was Tales from a Not So Perfect Pet Sitter. Perfect and sitter. All right, great job. That was a very challenging round. Let's move on to round 4. Also very challenging. Let's see how you did. Each of these is worth 1 point. Do you know the parts of a book? This part of the book is the spine. The narrow part, outer part that has the author and the title on it. It's called the spine. Yep, just like the human backbone, the spine. Number 2, this is the one I gave away, and I tried to stay straight-faced and not laugh at myself. However, I hope you picked up on my gaffe and maybe got yourself a point here if you didn't know this one already. This is called the dedication. The beginning of the book that has a special note or message from the author to someone or something that's important to them. In this case, it was from Miss Emily to her cat. It might be to mom or dad, to a friend, to a special teacher. It's called the dedication or the dedication page. Either one works for a point. Dedication. Number 3, that list of definitions that tells you what vocabulary words in the book mean. That's called a glossary. Glossary or glossary of terms. Either one works. You may see it referred to as both glossary or glossary of terms. glossary. Number 4, the beginning part of the book that kind of acts like a map, telling you where different sections fall, what pages they begin on. That's called the table of contents. The table of contents. And finally, number 5, one of those beginning pages of the book that has the title, the author, and the publisher. That's called the title page. In this case, the title is Orange Pear Apple Bear by Emily Grava. I love this book. And that's its title page. Wow. You did really great, I bet. Continue to count up those points as we move into the final round, round 5. These are our odds and ends, so questions that I didn't know where else they fit. Each was worth a point. Answer number 1, in your own words, I wanted to know what fiction is. So you could put anything that is similar to this. Remember, you're scoring yourself and it's on the honor system, so you know what you meant to say. But fiction is make-believe, made up, imaginary, not true. So anything close to those definitions or descriptions will work. Make-believe, made up, imaginary, not true. Number 2. So what is nonfiction? Well, nonfiction is true, factual, educational, for learning, and I think in schools a lot of time it's referred to as informational text. So anything close in your own definition to these descriptions will work for a point. True, factual, educational, informational, for learning, any of those. Number 3. How many books are in the Amulet series? There are 8. 8 books or volumes. 8. Number 4. I wanted the title of the book that this passage comes from, and it was The Very Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. So all I needed was the title, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And remember, the passage was on Monday he ate through 1 apple, but he was still hungry. On Tuesday he ate through 2 pears, but he was still hungry. On Wednesday he ate through 3 plums, but he was still hungry. Who is he? The Very Hungry Caterpillar. Great classic picture book, and that caterpillar eats even more than just those things. Finally, friends, we made it. Final answer. I needed 1 other character besides Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. Human or animal, doesn't matter. And even if you named all of these, that's amazing. However, you still just get 1 point. So other characters you could have named are Fern, Wilbur, Templeton, Homer, John, Avery, Lamb, Goose, Old Sheep, Henry, Dr. Dorian, Uncle, or Charlotte's 514 babies. Remember, she was a spider, so she had a lot of babies at the end. Any of those works for a point. Great job, friends. There's some image credits right there. Feel free now to take a little bit of time to add up all your points. Get some help from a grown-up adding if you need to. If you're playing with teams, share your points and see who the winner is. Remember, there's no prizes, but you have earned the title of the all-time greatest bookworm. So you got the bragging rights of that, which is pretty awesome. And before we go, I just want to talk about a few Milwaukee Public Library resources and services. Please check our website and our social media for more fun programs like this for children and families. Curbside pickup is also available at Central Library Drive Up, Tippecanoe Branch, and Washington Park Branch. So for materials pickup at those locations. And you can visit mpl.org for more information about that. That's our website, mpl.org. You can also check out our digital collections through Overdrive or Libby and Hoopla. Those are available for free with your library card online. There's ebooks and audiobooks. During the safer at home time, I'm using a lot of books from Overdrive and Hoopla. I especially like listening to audiobooks. And then finally, summer reading is in effect right now. It might look a little bit different than in years past, but we are still here with you to read, create, and discover all summer long. Sign up for summer reading with MPL at mpl.org/summer reading. And there's something for everyone to do, kids, teens, and adults. So have fun with that. Thank you everyone so much for doing this program with me today. I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you learned a lot. And if you won, great job, Bookworm. All right, I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.